Hey, what's up you guys, it's Rita. So today I thought I would share with you my ReRead-A-Thon TBR. The ReRead-A-Thon is a week-long readathon hosted by Murphy. I will leave her link down below. And basically the whole purpose of the ReRead-A-Thon is to reread some of your favorite books, maybe some ones that you want to give a second chance to, and that will be taking place from March 18th to March 24th. So I have a whole giant list of books that I want to read here. Let me see if I can actually pick them all up. Oh god. Oh dear, I'm already almost dropping them. There's two more, but there are a few different challenges for the ReRead-A-Thon. The first one is to read an old favorite. Second one is to read a new favorite. Third one is to reread a book that you want to give a second chance to. And the fourth one is to read a book in anticipation for an upcoming release. So my biggest challenge for the ReRead-A-Thon is to reread the Alice in Zombieland series, or the White Rabbit Chronicles technically, by Gina Showalter. So that is Alice in Zombieland, Through the Zombie Glass, and Queen of the Zombie Hearts. So for this, I've made it fit the challenge kind of rereading books for an upcoming release, because I still need to read book 4, which I have right there, Mad Zombie Party. I still haven't read that book. Book 3 was very, very upsetting. The finale was not great. That was supposed to be the finale. So I kind of put it off on reading the last book because I didn't want to relive the heartbreak, essentially. But I've decided to just kind of reread all 3 of these to read the 4th book when the ReRead-A-Thon is over. A book that I would like to give a second chance to is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I read this, and to be honest, I didn't love it. I didn't see what all the hype is about, but I did listen to it on an audiobook, and I think that I could potentially love this. I just don't think the audiobook was the best format for me. So I'm going to read a paper copy of it and see if I like it a little bit more, because I do want to continue on with the series. And for an old favorite, I have Sugar Rush by Julie Burchill. I read this when I was in high school. It features a female-female romance, and I really, really loved it when I read it then. I think they actually made a TV show of it on E4 in the UK, but I never watched that. And I just kind of want to relive this because it's been a very, very long time since I've read it, probably about 10 years. So I'm really looking forward to picking this one up again. Another few for old favorites, I have Hatchet by Gary Paulson. And actually this fits more into the book that you would like to give a second chance to, because I didn't love it when I read it. I mean, I was forced to read it in school. It's one of those books I read, I think, in 4th or 5th grade. And I didn't love it at the time, but I think as an adult I could grow to like it a little bit more. I've become very interested in like wilderness type stories, and I think that this will become a new favorite for like a children's or middle grade novel for me. And then I also want to read 2 Goosebump books, because I have a kind of like a goal for the whole year to reread as many Goosebump books as I can, because I am collecting them. I don't know if you can see any of them down there, but I have a whole bunch of them that I have not yet read, so I want to reread 2 of them to kind of up the number that I've read for the year. So I picked out The Beast from the East and One Day at Horrorland. These are really easy. I can fit them in between books, or when I just have like an extra half an hour or something. I don't think that they'll take very long to read, and I can knock out a few of these from my reread like TBR list thing. Another book I want to read is Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by Rachel Cohen and David Levithan. Once again, I'm kind of tying this into the challenge of rereading a book for an upcoming release. Technically, the new book did come out about 2 years ago, but I have not read it yet. So I want to like refresh myself with this before I pick that one up again. And another one of the last paper books I actually want to read is A Softer World comic series. I've already read the 1st book this year, but I want to reread the next 3 books. So I can read the 4th book, which I think is right here, Anatomy of a Melancholy. So these are by Emily Horn and Joy Como. They are webcomics, and they kind of printed them out in like a bind-up way, so you can read them all that way. So I have Everybody Gets Got, Second Best Isn't So Bad, and Let's Do Something Wrong. This is before. So I absolutely adore these comics. That's upside down. I absolutely adore these comics. It's been a very long time since I've read them all the way through, and I am in the process of kind of tabbing my favorite comics in them, because they are told in a very interesting format, and I definitely have favorites of these. So I want to be able to find them easier when I do want to look back at them later. And then throughout the whole week, I also want to be listening to a lot of audiobooks. I've decided to listen to the audiobook for City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I'm interested in kind of continuing on with the series, but I've only read the first 3. I was told to kind of read them in publication order, so like the first 3 Mortal Instruments books, the first Infernal Devices, back to Mortal Instruments, and back and forth until they're done being published. But I had a really hard time with that because I was really into the world of Mortal Instruments, and stopping to read the City or the Infernal Devices just didn't work for me, and I was really not interested. And I've tried to read that book now like 6 times, and I cannot get through it. So I think I'm just gonna continue on with the Mortal Instruments series, but I do want a refresher because it's been like 3 years now, I think, since I started it. So I'm just gonna listen to the first 3 books on audiobook, and I'm gonna try to get through those during the week. And then I also want to read an ebook when I'm like out and about and not able to read a paper book or listen to an audiobook at all. So usually that tends to be on like my lunch break, or if I'm shopping around, I'm waiting in a line, something like that. So I want to read Yellow Brick Road by Danielle Page, which is book 3 in the Dorothy Must Die series. I still have to read book 4. I'm like so bad with this. But I want a refresher once again on kind of what happened, because I started reading book 4 and I felt like I was missing some information. And that could also be because I never finished all of the novellas that had come out. I think I have 2 left at this point. So I'm also going to read those, just not during this week because I have not read them yet. But book 3 I have read, and I feel like a lot of the story is tied into that. So I do want to just kind of get a refresher. Alright, so those are all the books I want to read for the reread-a-thon. This is a huge, huge list, and I don't know how many I'm actually going to be able to get through. Like I said before, my main goal is to read the Alice in Zombieland series because I really, really, really want to read book 4. I want to have the series completed, and I think that staying in the world and kind of reading all 3 of these first and then moving on to book 4 is going to be the best way for me, because I love these books, I love these characters, and I am just really interested in getting back in that world, and I think that once I start reading these, I'm just going to fly through them. Like I said before, I will leave links down below for all the information that you need for this reread-a-thon. I'm really, really excited about this. I've never done a read-a-thon before, and I feel like the reread-a-thon is the perfect one for me because I love rereading books, and I don't feel like I really make enough time a lot of the time to reread these books, especially if it's in anticipation for an upcoming release. I'm not always willing to reread the entire series or reread the last book for it, so I feel like some information tends to get a little hazy for me. So I'm really excited about these so I can finish out a whole bunch of series and just like spend time in these worlds that I really, really love. So I will see you guys with my next video. Bye!